So the first thing we need to download is Jdk download. So to download Jdk, you need to go to Google and search for Jdk download. So when you hit on this particular thing, you will get oracle.com, Java and technologies downloads, Java downloads Oracle. So hit on this particular link. This will be taking you to the oracle.com website. This particular site is the vendor site for Java. Okay, so you'll see latest version on the top. Java 18 and Java 17 is the latest version right now. But in the industry, we are still using Java 1.8, which is Java 8. So let us scroll down a bit and you will find Java 8. And at the same time, Java 11 is also a little bit of popular in the industry. But you can use JDK 8 comfortably up to 2030 December. Okay, so as long as this support is there for Java SC, you can continue with the Java SC development kit. So if you see this 8U341, so 341 is the minor version or updated patch version. 8 is a major version. After that, these are all fixes. These are all the latest updates. Previously it was 333, but latestly it is updated with 341. So the recent one is 341. So you want to download this, you can scroll down. You can choose which operating system you want to download it for, whether it is for Windows, Linux, Mac OS or Solaris or Windows, which one you are trying to download. So our system generally is Windows. Click on the Windows button. You will be able to see two download links, for one for 86 installer, one for 64 installer. 86 is 32-bit installer, 64 is 64-bit installer. So my system, it is 64-bit installer. So I will click on this one to download. I need to click on this checkbox and click on download. So it will take you to login screen. If you have already account with Oracle, you can log in with your email ID and password. If you don't have one, create one account, which is absolutely free. So you don't need to spend any rupee for creating an account here. So it's absolutely free. Yes, so I got it right. So it started downloading. This is JDK version. This is JDK software. In the same way, you can just download Jre also. Jre download. So again, you can go for this JDK downloads Oracle. So if you come down, you'll see this JDK versions, right? In the same way, you'll see Jre. Let me show you where exactly you can find it. Yeah, you can see here. This is Jre. So when you click on this Jre, it gets expanded and you see Java SC runtime environment 8U341. So again, you see different platforms: Linux, Mac, Solaris, Windows. So click on the Windows. So you will get a lot of options here, which are zip, unzip, online installer, offline installer, all of these things. Okay, we are interested only in the 64-bit version, so we download this alone. Select on this and click on download. So it will start downloading it. So this is Jdk and Jre. So Jdk and Jre, we have discussed about this earlier. So Jdk is Java SE development kit. Java SE development kit 8. Another one is Java SE runtime environment. Java SE environment. One is used for development purpose. Another one is used for running. One is for development, one is for running. So where do we run? We run in real-time servers. Real-time servers are also known as production servers, which are also known as production servers. Real-time servers and production servers. In that servers we have Jre installed. Then we will talk about what is Java SE. What is Java SE? Java SE is Java Standard Edition. Java Standard Edition. There are 3 types of platforms or editions we have. One is Java SE, another one is Java Enterprise Edition. Another one is Java ME, which is nothing but Java Micro Edition, right? So Java SE is known as core Java. Okay, and this is something relevant to advanced Java. Then this is something relevant to mobile Java. Okay, so standard edition is nothing but core Java. Enterprise edition is nothing but advanced Java, and ME is nothing but mobile edition, mobile application, right? We develop mobile applications using J2ME. Okay, so micro means it's a small devices. Enterprise means it is web application, internet and intranet applications. Standard means desktop applications. This is standard edition, enterprise edition and micro edition. So these are the different types of editions we have. Java editions. Okay, what are all the Java platforms does it support? Java platforms. What are the Java platforms? It supports Linux, it supports Mac OS, it supports Solaris, and it supports Windows. These are the platforms. So these are the Java packages, software packages, Java software packages. We have downloaded Jdk. We need to install. Before installing, we need to check whether we have Java software in our system or not. How do we check whether we have Java installed? How to check if Java is already installed in system or not. So there are multiple ways that you can check. So one thing is search directly, go to the file explorer, go to your C drive and check inside the program files or program files x86. Program files x86 is 32-bit program files. Just program files is for 64-bit. So my system is 64-bit. I generally install my packages in the program files. I don't find it here. So which means that I have not installed in the default path. So this is the default path. By default, when you just install JDK, it will be installed in this path. But in my system, I have installed in some other path. How do I check? How do I get know where I have installed? So you can so in my system it is defaultly set in D, and inside that files and neo Java, and inside this I have JDK 8 and Jre 8. So inside JDK 8 folder I have Java software installed. Inside Jre folder I have Jre software installed. So you can choose one path which is convenient for you, and you can set it in that particular directory. So if you have only one drive, let's say C drive, you have only one drive inside in your system, that is C drive. So in C drive, you can go for creating a new folder like files. Okay. So all your data, you can store it inside your C drive. If you have only one drive, then you go for separate folder like this. Okay, separate folder like files, and inside files you can keep all your personal documents or folders, whatever it is. But for now I am doing something with Java, so I create a folder called Java in files. In files like this. Right, so inside this Java folder I will try to install two packages, which is JDK 8, another one is Jre, JDK and Jre. So JDK 8, I create a folder JDK 8, another one I create Jre 8. So let me draw the structure for you and make you understand. So this is to store Jre and this is to store JDK, right? So this is the general folder structure you can create and keep it available. So it is always advisable if you have more drives, let's say C drive and D drive and E drive. So generally C drive is for storing OS related softwares. OS related softwares are installed in C drive. Application related, you can store it in D drive or E drive or F drive if you have more drives. Okay, there is a reason why we choose D drive or E drive or F drive. So, but for example, your system is having JDK and everything inside one drive, and let's say some kind of a security bug is there, and your system is locked out completely. Your system is completely locked out completely. For example, like in 3 years ago, there was a security hack or security bug or a virus or a hacking. So it happened. So every Windows machine is locked. So you will not be able to lock until you pay some money to the hackers. So this was one problem we seen in 3 years ago, before Corona 1 or 2 years ago. Right, so what happened is worldwide Windows machines have been attacked by hackers and they locked the system completely. Nobody else you were able to log into that Windows machine to access their data. Now, if you have such kind of a situation, what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to format your system, right? Otherwise, you pay some money to the hackers and get it unlocked. So which one is a preferable way? So ours is a personal system. Whatever applications we are developing, so we can keep it in our system only, no problem. But whereas if you talk about IT companies, and there is only one Windows machine. Data is there only in that machine. Applications is there. Project is there. Everything in that drive only. Now that system is locked. What they have to do? Over 1 year of time you spent developing that project. Now that project is there in that system only, and that is there in C drive. What you can do? So you cannot do anything, right? So if you have more than one drives, you can format the C drive and you can continue using the D drive. Reinstall C drive and you can use applications in the D drive. So you will have a leverage to store data, application related data or project related data or client related information in the non-OS drive, so that you can handle any kind of system locking or virus attack in your system. So that is the reason we choose other than OS drives. So it is always advisable to have more drives. One, you choose it for Windows machine, and others you can choose it for your storing your data. So it's always advisable like that. So in my system we have C and files and Java, or maybe Jdk 8. Either this way you can do, or I generally install in D drive. So because I have two drives, I will install this in the D drive. So instead of C drive, I will install it in the D drive. So in D drive, files, Java, and inside that Jdk 8 and Jre 8. So this is how you can check your path. Okay. All right. So now there is another way to check. If you have this installed, you can go and check in the system environment variables, because we generally configure Jdk in our environment variables. So you can search for the control panel, open and click on the system, and in system you will be able to see your system details, advanced system details or specifications, whatever it is, right? Here you can see advanced system settings. So advanced tab, inside that environment variables, you can see my system Java_home. It is pointing to D files neojava Jdk 8. This is the path. So you can get path if you have this kind of environment variables set in your system. Okay. Clear? Okay, what happens if it is not configured, right? You have to, by default, you are supposed to check in the C drive. So generally you will be finding it in the C drive. Program files, if it is 64-bit, program files, if it is 32-bit, you need to check in the x86 folder. Program files, x86 folder. Okay, so it's clear now. Then let me try to uninstall the Jdk in my system. Before I need to install, I need to uninstall. Let me uninstall it. So let me go to the control panel, search for the control panel, open up programs and features. In this you can see my software. You can see this is Jdk and this is Jre. The one which is having development kit as a name, this is Jdk. Without that development kit, it is Jre. So you can uninstall Jre. I am trying to uninstall it. Click on uninstall, yes. So it will ask security permissions. You click on yes. It will uninstall the software from the system. And then Java development kit, uninstall it. Click on yes. Security permissions, click on yes. It will uninstall the Jdk software also. Then you might get a question, if I have more than one Jdk or Jre in my system, what I should do? What is your wise choice? Uninstall all, right? Select each of them and uninstall all of it. Uninstall all of it. So this is how you can uninstall the Java software from your system. So now let me install JDK, latest JDK in my system. So I have downloaded latest version, which is JDK 8U341 Windows x64, which means 64-bit operating 64-bit JDK software. So let me double click on this one. It will ask for the security permissions. You need to click on yes. So it is asking security permission for me. It is not able to show you. Click on yes. This is called as wizard. This is called as wizard. Wizard is nothing but step-by-step procedure of installing something. Wizard is nothing but it is a software which is having step-by-step procedure to install any software. Okay. Now we are trying to install Java SC Development Kit 8. So you click on next. So in JDK software, as we have already discussed, there are 3 packages that is installed along with the JDK software. First one is development tools. Second one is source code. Third one is Public Jre. Public Jre. This we have already discussed in our intro sessions. Just reviewing again. So JDK contains 3 things, that is dev tools. Another one is source code. Another one is Public Jre. There are 3 types of JREs. One is standalone JRE. Standalone. Then another one is Public Jre. Another one is private JRE. Public, private, standalone. 3 types of JREs available. You can skip, or you don't install standalone JRE. It is fine. You can skip Public JRE. You can skip it. It is fine. But you cannot skip private JRE. Private JRE is by default coming in the JDK. Okay. So along with the dev tools, it is also getting private JRE. It is also getting private JRE. It is also getting private JRE. Source code and Public JRE. Right? Okay, so let me continue with the installation. So what if you want to disable Public Jre? So there is an icon of hard drive like this here. Just click on it. This feature will not be available. Select this feature will not be available. Select on this. Select on this feature. This feature will not be available. If you select this one, it will skip the installation. It will skip the installation of JRE. Right? So I want to install Public Jre also. But by the way, into which path? It is installing in C, program files, Java, and JDK 8 folder. This is the default path it is getting installed. This I want to change it into the JDK 8, which is inside the D drive. So click on this change. Click on this change, and you can change all the information that you wanted. So I want to keep it installed in D. Inside files, there is something called Neo Java, and then inside that I want to install JDK 8. JDK 8. Click on OK. So it's going to install D drive, files, Neo Java /JDK 8 folder. So click on next. It will keep installing the JDK software. So secondly, it is installing this JRE. I told you there are three softwares it is getting installed: DevTools, Source Code, and Public Jre. So this is a Public Jre, and it is also trying to install in the C drive, which I don't want to install in the C drive. So click on Change, select D drive, inside Files, inside Neo Java. Here I create a new folder. Make sure that you selected Neo Java or Java whatever folder. Select that and click on Make New. Okay. So here I want to install JRE8. So I select this Jdk JRE8 and click on OK. So make sure that you have right path wherever you want to install. Click on Next. So let the Java 8 runtime environment get installed. In the meanwhile, I'll just tell you. So before installing this, you create the directory structure. So go inside the D drive. Inside the D drive, create a folder, files. Inside that, you create a Java folder because you are installing everything related to Java. So JDK 8 folder and JRE 8 folder. You create these folder structures before you get into install. Before you try to install, create this folder structure so that you will be having all the folders created before only. Right? So it is always preferable to do this way. Click on close. Yes, now the Java software, which is JDK 8 and JRE 8, both are installed in my system. So I'll create another folder called programs. I'll keep all my Java programs inside this programs folder. I'll keep my Java programs inside this programs folder. I develop all the Java source codes inside this programs. Okay. And if you want to install something like Eclipse, you can use Eclipse folder inside this. You can give Eclipse folder inside this. So you can install all the software relevant to Eclipse inside this folder. If you want to develop core Java related programs, you can develop inside the programs. If you want to install JRE8, install inside JRE8 folder. If you want to install JDK8, then install inside the JDK8 folder. And if you want to create something, it's Eclipse workspace, Eclipse projects. If you want to develop Eclipse projects, you can develop something called workspace here. Workspace. So inside workspace, you can develop Eclipse related projects here. So this is a general structure that I follow, and you can also follow the same if you like it. Okay. Every company will have certain structure they maintain. Every company will have their own structure, their own folder structure. Only in that folder structure they install. So you need to know before installing which path you are supposed to use it, right? So general recommendations, whatever it is like this, you can follow. You can go and you can check with your company or teammates that if I install this path, is that okay for you? Is that okay? Is that preferable? Or any other structures that you recommend to follow, then follow it with it. So you can just check on that and you can continue with the installation procedure. All right, now I have installed. So I have downloaded my JDK software, which is the latest version. I have installed my JDK software. Now I need to configure. So what are the steps to configure the JDK? So configuring JDK requires two things. Configure JDK. Configure JDK. So what do we do here? There are two environment variables which are called as Java_home, Java_home, and another one is path. So these are the two environment variables we need to create. One for Java underscore home, one for setting the path. So let me give you what is a home. Home is nothing but it's a folder where you have Java software installed. Where did I install Java software in my system? Can anybody tell me where I have installed? Hello?
D drive.
Yes, in D drive. So it is very difficult for me to remember, right? So you can just take a look at here. In D drive, files folder, inside Java folder, inside Jdk 8 folder, right? This is not the one I have installed in Neo Java. So I'll go inside Neo Java folder. So D:// files / neojava /jdk 8. This is my path where I have Java software installed. Jdk 8 is installed. So Java underscore home should point Jdk 8 folder, wherever it may be. If you install in C drive, you have to show C drive files folder, Neo Java or Java, whatever it is, Jdk 8 folder. And then path. Path is actually shown for executable files. Executable files are also known as binary files. So there are binary files inside Jdk 8 folder. So we need to show that. So I have files folder in D drive. Inside that Neo Java, inside that Jdk 8, you can see bin folder, right? So I need to take this one. So to refer the same, I will copy paste the home. I will copy paste the home, and after that I will add bin. So bin should be in the path. Bin path should be in the path. So these are the two things we need to configure. Nothing more than this for Java. Nothing more than this for Java. So one is Java underscore home, another one is path. So in how many ways we can set? So there are three ways you can set. First one is command level, using command wise setting. Another one is user level or user wise, user level setting. Another one is system wise or system level setting. So three ways you can set. So out of these three things, this is temporary. This is temporary. And these two are permanent. Permanent. So how do we set with command wise is we use command called set. We can use the command called set. But user level, this is GUI operations. GUI operation. One is command line interface. Command line interface. Another two are GUI things. So what we need to do, we need to go for control panel. Inside control panel, we have to click on system. Inside system, we see something called advanced tab. Inside advanced tab, we see something called environment. Environment variables. So you need to click on environment variables button. After that, you can choose whether user variables or system variables. What is the purpose of user variables? When you want to give only for one user. For example, this system is having only one user. Then you can set at user level or system level. But if your system is having more than one users, there are 2 users or 3 users, then other 2 users not needed Java software, then why to set for them? Why to set for them, right? So if you only one user out of 3 users wants JDK software, you set only for that user variables. If you want to set every user, then go for system variables. Go for system variables. When you set it at system level, every user of that system can access that Java software. Okay. But if you want to give only for that particular user, then you can go for user variables. So for now, let us continue with user. Control panel, search control panel in the search box, then go for system in the control panel. So in some other system, you will not be able to find system here. You will not find any icons here. So in that case, you just click on this view by, change your large icons or small icons. In some systems, you might see something like this. So click on this category, click on the large icons or small icons, whichever is convenient for you. Then click on the system. It will show all the system relevant information. So here you can see whether your system is 64-bit or 32-bit. My system is 64-bit operating system and 64-bit hardware also. 64-bit hardware also. So I can peacefully install 64-bit softwares and 32-bit softwares in my system. So Windows advanced system settings. Click on the advanced system settings. In the advanced tab, you can click on the environment variables. And here you can see user variables for the username. So I have already set Java_home, D files, neo Java, then Jdk 8. As you already know that my system path, I have Java software installed in this path, clicking on OK. And then click on the path. Do not click on new, click on edit. So you have already seen in my system D files, neo Java, Jdk 8/bin. So click on OK. You will be able to see inside the path. So what happens in your system? You don't have it. Then you don't have Java_home. Click on new. Click on new and enter the details, username and variable name and variable value. That I have already shown in the notepad. If you already have path, just select that and click on edit. Okay, if you want to remove, for example, if you want to remove, just select it and remove. Select it and click on delete button. Okay, but don't ever delete path like this. Selecting this, don't click on delete. It is not advisable to delete path. So you can just edit. You can delete the entries, but not the path variable itself. Okay, remember this note. So in my system, this is OK. Click on OK. Click on OK. Click on OK. Then click on OK. Close this. So I need to check in my system. So I need to search for command prompt. Go to the command prompt. Go to the command prompt. Type javac-version. You should get something like this. You should get something like this. If you don't get this kind of message, that means your javac command will not work. You cannot compile your Java code. And the next thing is java-version. This is JRE and this one is JDK. Javac indicates JDK. Okay. Java -version is to tell you what kind of Java runtime environment is there inside your system. Javac is a command which will tell you what kind of Java compiler is there in the system, which means JDK is properly installed and set. Okay, so now we have downloaded the JDK software, we have installed the JDK software, and we have configured the JDK. Now let's get started with programming, Java programming. So first Java program, first Java program. So there are few steps you need to follow. So on broader way, there are 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, and step 3. In a broader sense, there are 3 steps. First one is composing the Java file. Compose or composing Java source file. What is Java source file? It is a file where we save all Java code. So it should have .java as extension. So we need to store Java code in Java source file. The Java source file should have .java as extension. Second, compile Java source file. Compile the Java source file. Generate .class file. When you compile it, it will generate .class file. And the last step is execute or run the Java program. Run the Java class. It's not a program, it's a class. .class file we need to run. .class file we need to run. Okay, so in the first step, there are again small steps. Step A is you need to have source code editor. Source code editor. So install the source code editor in your system. So I have Notepad++. So open Notepad++ or editor, source code editor. Source code editor. So what are the various types of editors? One is Notepad, just plain Notepad. Another one is Notepad++. Another one is Edit+. Another one is Eclipse. Another one is NetBeans. Another one is IntelliJ. Okay, these are the source code editors. You can have any one of them installed in your system. Then open a new Java or new file. Open a new file. Step number 3, write the Java code. Write the Java code inside new file. Last one, save the file with .java as extension. So example, hello.java. This is my file name with extension. So in this, file name is actually hello, extension is actually .java. So your code, your source code should be saved as file name .java as extension. File name .java as extension. Step number 2. Once you have your source code file generated, you need to compile it. In order to compile the Java source code, so you need to open CMD prompt. We have already seen what is CMD, how to launch CMD prompt. Open CMD prompt. Then you need to change to the folder. You need to change to the folder where .java file is located. Wherever you have .java file located, you have to go to that folder. Step number third step is use the command javac to compile. So syntax is javac filename dot java. So example is java file name. Here file name is example is like hello dot java, hello c, java c hello dot java, java c hello dot java. And the final one is execution. In order to execute the Java program or Java class, you need to go inside the CMD prompt. In the same CMD prompt you can run. So I already opened in the second step. So I don't need to close. I need to continue in the same one. So I need to use the command, java to run class file. So syntax is java class name. It is not file name, it is class name. Example java class name. For example, if I am writing the code as like this, class hello, inside this public static void main string args square brackets open and close, flower brackets open and close, system dot out dot println hello world. So you write the class like this, and inside the class you need to write the method, main method. Inside the main method you write a println statement, which is going to print hello world onto the console when we execute. So I am saving this file as hello.java. I am saving this file as hello.java. Okay. So I need to compile it with java c hello.java. I need to execute with class name. What is the class name here? Can anybody tell me what is the class name? Class name is hello. So I need to use just the class name. Type hello, and then execute. So Control N. This is a Notepad++. Control N is to create a new file. I am writing the class hello public static void main string args open and close flower brackets open and close. Inside this system dot out dot println So here hello world. Save this file. Control S. hello.java. So this is July batch. So I will save the code inside the July batch programs. Hello.java. I am saving it as hello.java. This is you can do. Otherwise, you can change the type. You can find many types here. You can select Java source file. Click on save. So this file is saved as .java as extension. dot java as extension. What is a path? D colon files jul batch programs hello. Okay, let me open the cmd prompt. So you can see the path already, it is D files, right? So I need to go to the D drive. What is the command? Drive name colon, drive name colon, drive name colon, then cd files folder, inside files jul hyphen batch, then programs, inside programs I have my Java file. So what is the command to list the files and folders in the current folder? What is the current folder? Can somebody tell what is current folder?
Programs.
Programs. Then what is the command to list files and folders?
dir.
dir. Very good. Thank you. So in this there are three contents. One is dot, one is double dot, one is hello.java file. Hello.java file. So we are done with step number 1, that is composing Java file. First I have opened a new file in the Notepad++. Then I have written the below code, Java code. After that I saved the file with .java as extension. After that I open my command prompt. For compiling I have opened my command prompt. Change to the folder where .java file is located. I have already changed to the location. Next is command java c to compile. So java c file name .java. For example, hello.java is my file name. So I will go to the path java c, file name is hello.java as extension. Click on enter key. So now Java program is compiled successfully, and again you hit an dir command, you will find two files here. Before compilation it was only one file. After compilation it is generating hello.class. Hello.class. So now I need to execute. What is the last step? Run the Java class. Run the Java class. So you need to use the command called Java class name. Java class name. So what is the command? Java class name. What is the class name? Hello. Just before executing, just check your class. Yes, it is HALO, which is capital letters H, ALO is small. Hit on enter key. Now you can see the output. Now you can see the output. Hello world. Okay, so then interesting question. If I write one more line, so how do I write one more line is Control D. Just do Control D, it will add a new line in the Notepad++, not any other editor. So instead of this, I will say welcome to Java world. Welcome to Java world. So now what should I do? In order to execute the program, what I should do?
Save it first, save.
I have saved it. I have saved it. Because of it, it is showing blue color. If I make any changes, it will show in the red color. That means file is not saved. So save the file. I have saved the file. What next? What next? I have modified the source code. What next? Compile again. That's right. Thanks for putting in the chat. So we need to recompile the code. So how do we recompile? Just java c hello.java. So it is recompiled now. Then I can run Java class name hello. So now it will show the output hello world and welcome to Java world. So you need to understand this flow. Once you make any changes to the source code, you need to recompile it and then re-execute the program. Compilation, you need to use javac command. For execution, you need to use java command. So are you clear? So if you want to make a note of it, please make a note of it. This is very important. I'll pause the recording for some time. Okay, now we have seen quick starting with Java program, right? So first steps. So let's understand the flow once, so that we will never ever forget about the Java program life cycle. So there are simply 3 steps in Java programming life cycle. So step number 1. Step number 1. Step number 1 is to create Java code, Java source code. This is to create Java source code. This is to create Java source code. You need to save this one as .java as extension. For example, hello.java. So inside this, what I do is I'll write a class. Inside this, I'll write a class hello. So this is a source code. This is a source code. So we write this code in the high level language, which is Java language. Java language. This phase is called as composing. Composing, right? And the second step is going to be compilation process. So what is the first step in the compilation process? First thing is verify syntax errors. Compiler is going to verify syntax errors. Is there any syntax error? In the second step, it is going to be compile and generate .class file. Compile and generate .class file. This is the second step. This is the second step. So the artifact here, it is generating dot class file. It is generating dot class file. Dot class file. What is there inside dot class file? What is there inside dot class file? It is called as bytecode. The code inside the dot class file is called as bytecode. This bytecode is given to something called interpreter. This is given to interpreter. Okay. So this one is compiling, and this step is executing or running. So in this, what it should do, there are again two steps here. There are again two steps here. Step number one, verify bytecode. Verify bytecode. And the second step is compile and execute. Compile and execute at the same time using just-in-time compiler. Using just-in-time compiler. Just-in-time compiler. And finally, it is going to give, this is called console, and it displays the output hello world. Hello world. This is called as console. This is generally called as console. Here console and command prompt both are same. Okay, it's going to display output. It's going to display output. It is going to display output. It is going to display output. Right? This is the whole flow. Now you need to understand there are some more things to it. When it is going to give compile, when it is going to verify for the compilation, what it is going to do? It is again going to give an error, which is compile time error. This compile time error should be fixed. This compile time error should be fixed. This compile time error should be fixed by going to the step number 1, that is writing code, composing the Java. Okay. So if when we need to do it, when we have Compile time error. Compile time error is raised because of verification of syntactical errors. Verification of syntactical errors. Verification of syntactical errors. So again recompile it. Again recompile it. All right. Then if there are any issues while executing the program, not while compiling is everything is fine. What happens if there are some issues while executing? Those are called as runtime errors. Those are called as runtime errors. So it's going to execute and give errors. Okay. Go back to the first step. Go back to the first step and make the changes and recompile it. Again, follow the same cycle. Again, follow the same cycle. When if you have some runtime errors, while executing, you might get errors. While executing, you might get errors. Those errors need to be recompiled. So you need to modify the code and recompile it. So this is step number 1. This is step number 1. Compose. Compose. Step number 2. Compile. And step number 3. Run. So this is a 3-step process. Compiler, converts high-level Java code into .class file. Secondly, interpreter, which will recompile the code, the bytecode, and execute code, execute Java code or program. If there are any errors, if any errors in the Java source code, source code with respect to syntax or compiler rules. Compiler rules. Okay. Then compile time error. Compile time error, which is CTE. Which is CTE. Next, if any errors in the Java program with respect to execution and JVM rules, then runtime error. Runtime error. So .java file, Java source file, .class file, bytecode file. .java file is Java source file. .class file is bytecode file. So are we able to follow this concept? So there are 3 steps: compose, compile, and run. Compose, compile, and run. Compose, compile, and run.